Imagine this. You work hard every single day, money comes in, but somehow it slips right through your fingers. Have you ever stopped to wonder why? The real issue isn't the numbers in your bank account, it's the thoughts in your mind. Because until you master the psychology behind money, you'll always feel like you're chasing it instead of controlling it. Most people grow up believing that money is simply about how much you earn or how well you can calculate numbers, but the truth is deeper than that. Money is more about the way you think, the beliefs you carry, and the mindset you bring into every financial decision. If your perspective around money is limited, no matter how much you earn, you will always find yourself stuck in the same place. Someone with a poor mindset will continue to make poor choices even if their paycheck increases, because the foundation of their decisions is rooted in how they view money rather than how much of it they have. When you look at two people with the same income, one may build wealth while the other falls into debt, and the difference is not the math. It is the mindset. The way you think about money determines whether you save or spend, whether you invest or consume, whether you chase instant gratification or choose long-term security. If your mindset is centered on scarcity, you will always feel like there is never enough, so you hold on tightly or spend recklessly out of fear. But if your mindset is built on abundance and discipline, you begin to see opportunities, you plan with clarity, and you use money as a tool rather than letting it control you. Psychology drives every choice you make, and when your thoughts are negative, impulsive, or rooted in comparison, your money follows the same path. On the other hand, when your thoughts are intentional, patient, and rooted in vision, your financial life shifts towards stability and growth. This is why mastering the psychology behind money is more important than mastering complex financial formulas, because the way you think sets the ceiling for what you can achieve. Many people believe their financial struggles come from not having enough income, but often the real issue lies in the way they think and react to money situations. Overspending, procrastinating on saving, and swiping a credit card for things that aren't necessary are not money problems, they are mindset problems. When someone says they'll start saving later, it's usually because they are allowing short-term comfort to outweigh long-term stability. When someone buys things they can't afford just to impress others, it comes from comparison and insecurity, not financial wisdom. These habits are not about numbers on a paycheck. They are about the way emotions and thoughts guide decisions. Every purchase we make has a psychological trigger behind it. Sometimes it's stress that pushes us to buy something to feel better. Sometimes it's impatience that convinces us we need it now instead of waiting until we can afford it. And sometimes it's fear of missing out that makes us spend on things that don't align with our goals. The deeper problem is not the product we buy or the bill we pay, but the mindset that allowed us to make that choice without discipline or strategy. Until we address those mental patterns, no amount of extra income will fix the cycle. Recognizing that these are mindset issues is the first step to change. When you shift from emotional decisions to intentional ones, you begin to see money differently. Instead of asking, "Do I want this right now?" you ask, "Does this decision move me closer to my future?" That one shift separates people who stay trapped in debt from those who build freedom. The key is not just to control the money in your hand, but to control the thoughts in your head that guide every financial decision. Smart money decisions are never the result of luck. They are the product of discipline, vision, and consistency working together day after day. Discipline is what helps you say no to unnecessary spending and yes to the sacrifices that build financial stability. It is not glamorous to budget, to cut back on things you want in the moment, or to put money aside instead of spending it on quick pleasures. But discipline teaches you to control your desires rather than letting your desires control you. Without discipline, even the best financial plan will collapse because emotions will always win over logic. Vision gives meaning to that discipline. It is difficult to say no to things today if you don't have a clear picture of what you're saying yes to tomorrow. Vision helps you imagine the freedom of being debt-free, the peace of having savings, and the pride of building wealth for your family. When you know why you're making sacrifices, those sacrifices stop feeling like punishment and start feeling like an investment in your future. Vision gives you the ability to endure short-term discomfort for long-term gain. because you see beyond today's emotions and into tomorrow's rewards. Consistency ties it all together. Making one good decision is easy, but repeating that decision every day, every week, and every month is where the real growth happens. Consistency takes small, ordinary steps like saving a little, paying bills on time, or sticking to a budget, and transforms them into extraordinary results over time. It is the quiet force that compounds your effort into freedom and wealth. Without consistency, even the strongest discipline and clearest vision cannot produce results. But when all three align, discipline, vision, and consistency, your financial life moves towards stability, freedom, and abundance. So many people stay stuck financially not because they don't have opportunities, but because they're caught in cycles that drain their money and peace. Fear, comparison, and impulsive habits are three of the most dangerous traps. Fear makes people believe they'll never have enough, so they either cling too tightly to money and never grow it, or they avoid facing their financial reality altogether. Comparison convinces people to spend money they don't have on things they don't need, just to look successful in front of others. And impulsive habits push people into quick decisions like buying the latest gadget, eating out every day, or signing up for things they can't afford, all for the sake of temporary satisfaction. Breaking these cycles starts with awareness. You can't fix what you don't admit. When you notice that you're buying things out of fear of missing out, that awareness gives you the power to pause before making the purchase. When you realize you're comparing your life to someone else's highlight reel, you remind yourself that their journey isn't yours. When you see that your impulsive habits are robbing you of future opportunities, you start building strategies like waiting 24 hours before spending or setting automatic savings so you're not tempted to waste money. The cycle breaks the moment you stop letting emotions control your wallet and start letting purpose lead your choices. Every time you choose patience over impulse, every time you choose contentment over comparison, you're strengthening your financial foundation. It's not about never spending. It's about spending with intention. The strongest form of wealth isn't just the money in your account. It's the ability to master your habits and control your financial story instead of letting destructive cycles write it for you. When you shift the way you think about money, everything about your financial life begins to change. Many people try to fix their problems by only chasing a higher income, but if their mindset stays the same, the extra income disappears just as quickly as it came. That's why people can win the lottery or get a huge raise and still end up broke. Because the issue was never the amount of money. It was how they thought about and managed it. A mindset that sees money as a tool for freedom will always build stability, while a mindset that treats money as a way to impress others or feed impulses will always lead to struggle. The transformation begins in small decisions. When your mind is trained to pause before spending, you start asking better questions like, does this help my future or only my today? When your mind values discipline, you choose to save and invest instead of waste and regret. When your thoughts are focused on long-term growth, you naturally avoid the traps that once pulled you into debt or stress. The shift in thinking creates a shift in habits, and those new habits shape the balance in your account. It's not about becoming perfect with money overnight. It's about retraining your thoughts so they align with the life you want. Every time you choose vision over emotion, every time you replace a negative belief like, I'll never get ahead, with a positive one like, I'm building wealth step by step, you are reshaping your future. The greatest wealth you will ever build starts in your mind, because the psychology you carry with you is what determines whether your money works for you or whether you continue to work endlessly for money at the end of the day. Smart money decisions aren't about luck or talent, they're about training your mind to think differently. When you choose discipline over impulse, vision over distraction, and consistency over excuses, you take control of your financial story. Change the way you think, and you'll change the way you live.